Hey guys, what's going on? It's Clever Techie, and in this video we're going to finish covering top 100 PHP functions, starting from 91 to 100 that you see highlighted here. Starting with ArrayReverse, which returns an array with elements in reverse order. So let's create a new array. And then I'm just gonna use pre-r to print out the original array so that we can compare it after the array has been reversed. So ArrayReverse archetypes, and then I'm gonna print out the reversed array. Okay, so this is our original array with king, warrior, magician, and lover in that order, and then we have used the ArrayReverse, and now we have lover, magician, warrior, and king. Now you may have noticed that the actual keys are now different. So in this case, array key 3 was lover, and now we have key 0 as lover. However, the array has been reversed, and that's what the function was supposed to do. And if we wanted to preserve the keys, we could specify that second parameter as true, and then the keys will remain the same for their associative values. So let's try that now. So I'm just gonna say true here, and now all the keys have been preserved, and you can see that the lover is 3, magician is 2, warrior is 1, and king is 0, just like in the original array. So that's what it means for the function to preserve the keys. Now, if we had a associative array, let me just give you an example here. So I got a bunch of keywords here for the associative array, and first of all I'm gonna go ahead and use a ksort function to sort the array. So ksort keywords. Now ksort sorts the array alphabetically by the keys. So let's see what happens here. So if I print this out now, you can see that the array keys have been sorted alphabetically. And now if we use the reverse, let's see what happens here. Pre-r reverse keywords. So now the keys have been reversed, and you can see that they're still associated with their with the correct values. So the preserved keys does not need to be applied to the associative arrays, unlike numeric arrays, because in the case of associative arrays, the keys are preserved by default, as you can see here. Okay, that's it for ArrayReverse. Let's move on to the next function, which is ORD. So this function converts the first byte of a string to a value between 0 and 255. And this function is basically the reverse of the CHR that we covered in the previous video. So if we look at this table here, so taking the character like A will convert it to a decimal like 65. And you can look at all the characters in this column, and then by using ORD, you can tell which number it will be converted to. So let's just take, for example, capital C, which should give us 67. So I'm just gonna say echo ORD capital C, and we should get 67. There you go. And feel free to play around with this function. There's a lot of characters, and basically you can also create loops to loop through different kinds of characters, like PHP.NET manual has this, for example, and you can find out the values for each individual character or set of characters like that. Okay, so that's ORD. Let's move on to the next function, which is UniqueID. So this function just generates a unique ID string. So let's just do this unique ID. Then I'm gonna use a prefix, which is an optional parameter for this function, and then our string, our uniquely generated ID, will be prefixed with that string, which is clever dash. And then gonna refresh, and here's our uniquely generated ID. So by using true here, it creates more entropy, so it just adds on more strings. So now if I delete true and then refresh, you can see that the string is not as long. So by adding true to the unique ID, it generates a longer string, which has more chance of the string being unique than the original version. Also, prefixing the string with whatever value or whatever string that you want is also going to make that string more unique. And that's unique ID. Let's move on to the next function, which is strtr. Okay, so this function simply translates characters or replaces substrings. So we have the original string, then we have a from and to, and so the second parameter will search whatever's inside the string and replace it with a to parameter, which is our third value here, or the third parameter. So let me give you an example. Let's create some random text. I'm just gonna say something like Clever Techie is a genius, and then echo strtr text, which is our Clever Techie is a genius string, and then we're gonna look for e, so it's gonna take in all the e's inside the string. And then we can specify whatever that we want to convert the e character to, which I'm just gonna say a. So that will replace all the e characters with an a. Clever Techie is a genius. There you go. That's how that function works. And let's move on to the next one, which is ArrayDiff. So this function computes the difference of arrays, and it's gonna compare array 1 against one or more other arrays and return the values in array 1 that are not present in any of the other arrays. Okay, so let's go ahead and create two arrays that we're gonna compare against each other. I'm just gonna say some animal names here. And then we're gonna create another array to compare it against. And I'm just gonna create some duplicate values first. And then I'm just gonna randomly add some more animal names here. And now if we do ArrayDiff animals1, animals2, and then print the result, what we should get here is all the values that are not present inside of the second array. So you may guess that it's dolphin and bear, because dolphin and bear is not present inside of the second array. And that's what the function is going to do. It's going to compare the two, and it should give us those two values. Let's check it out, refresh. Oops, forget array diff. There you go. Okay, so we got an eagle, dolphin, and bear. Oh, that's because I misspelled eagle. Okay. Okay, so it's just dolphin and bear, just like I said before, because those are the only two animals not present inside the second array. So let's now switch them around, and we're gonna get the opposite now. We're gonna get cow, pig, deer, and cat, which are not present inside of the first array. Cat, pig, deer, and cat. So that's how array diff works. Let's move on to the next function, which is error reporting. So this function says which PHP errors are reported. It's as simple as that. And these are the different constants that you can set to create the different kinds of error reporting for your script. And if you scroll down here, this guy has a really good example here. So this is something useful and something that you guys can use. So if you just see a blank page instead of error reporting and you have no server access, so you can't edit PHP configuration files like PHP ini, you can do the following. You can create a new file in which you include the faulty script, and you can use the function error reporting and set the constant to eall, which will report all the errors. You can also use the second function here and set display errors to 1. And we actually covered the ini set in earlier video, where we can set the configuration options by using this function. And then by writing the script, you will get the error messages reported by PHP. So this is just a handy way of doing that if you don't have access to php.ini, or whenever you have a script and you just want the error reporting to be done while the script is running, instead of having to modify ini file. Okay, so that's that function. Let's move on to the next one, which is ceil. So this function is basically the opposite of floor. It rounds up the number up instead of down. So round fractions up. And let me give you a few examples here. So 5.2 is going to be rounded to 6. Negative 4.2 is going to be rounded to negative 4. And then let's do another one, 0.09, which should be rounded to 1. So it just rounds up the numbers to rounds up the decimal numbers. So instead of 5.2, it rounds it up to 6. Instead of negative 4.2, rounds it up to negative 4, and then 0.09 goes all the way up to 1. So there's really not much else to say about that function. Let's move on to the next one, which is URL encode. And this function is really useful for encoding URL parameters so that you can correctly pass them along to the script. And it's mostly used for user query parameters or user variables, because a user can type all kinds of characters inside the URL or the form that is going to accept the user input. So it's really useful to use this kind of function. Alright, so for example, if I have a search string like best digital camera 2019, And then suppose we have a script that has a search.php with a query variable that we're gonna capture. Here's where we can use URL encode to encode the variable user query, which is something that our user is searching for on the website. And so now let's check out URL, or actually let's just echo out the string and see what we get. Okay, so you can see that URL encode has replaced all the spaces with pluses, which is the correct way for encoding the string. Okay, so that's that function. Let's move on to the next one, which is min. So this is a very simple function. That's the opposite of max. It gets the minimum number out of a set of numbers. So in this case, guess what number we're gonna get? Which one is the smallest number? It is 1, obviously. That's how that function works. And finally, we have the last function, which is printr. And really, printr, we've been using it throughout the entire series of these videos. I just replaced it with a pre-r just to print out the pre-tags so that the array would be formatted in a more easy to read way. So the function by itself just prints out the array, so we can print out keywords here, and here's what the original version without the pre-tags looks like. Also, one thing I learned is that we can actually store the value instead of printing it. So we can say result equals printr, and then by setting this parameter to true, it's gonna tell PHP to store the result instead of printing it. So now our result is going to be stored inside the result, but not as an array, but as a string. So if we simply echo out the result, this is going to be a valid way to print out the value, which is now stored as a string. And that's it for Top 100 PHP functions. I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Clever Techie out.